Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here. We're doing the weekly MonTac Matchup, and today we have got our top 10 player, potentially top 5 after their next match. DanB, how are you doing?
Still alive.
Still alive, isn't it great? Well, we're going to take you through a couple matches, Daniel. First match we've got is Rank 19 Fury card from Nigeria taking on Tail Sweet Rank 20 from the US. Now, I believe Fury card's coming into this matchup with some Sunwalkers, that would be my prediction, and Tailsuit with, I'd say, some sort of Tarosians. Immediately, what do you think of this matchup? I know you've had a couple bouts with Tailsuit, but what's your immediate thoughts?
I'd say it could go either way. Depending on how long Tailsuit could hold up against Sunwalkers, or at least keep the advantage over Sunwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
I could see either side winning, but if I had to pick one, I would want to say Tail Sweep, just because I've used Tarosins before and Sunwalkers, but Tarosins with guard predators, actually using the cards instead of mixing them with steel edges. That's a pretty good deck right there.
All right, nice. Well, next match we've got is Shadow Galaxy Wolf, rank 11 from Australia, taking on Crowler from Romania, rank 10. So quite pretty close in the rankings here. Obviously, Shadow has had to miss a couple of weeks, but she's coming back with a vengeance here. And she's going to be taking on Crowler. Now, both of these players are known for their Tarosian builds. Shadow Galaxy Wolf, a little bit different though. She is, well, like I said, she's basically the queen of control. Her deck is probably the best control deck currently in the competition with the Tarosian control style. Meanwhile, Crowler has stuck with the Tarosians, just as a classic Tarosians without any too emphasis on special team removal and power down strategy. It's definitely a very interesting matchup. Both are quite qualified at playing Tarosians. From your prior experience with Shadow Galaxy Wolf, what are you thinking of this match?
I want to say that I think that she'll do well here, because when I fought against her, it was kind of that. Though, especially since a Tarosin mirror match, they're always fun. Seeing Sark go off so many darn times, or having Octai send I don't know, let's say another Octai or something. Always fun to see. As for, I want to say Shadow Galaxy Wolf, but still anyone can kind of win, because sometimes you never really. Sometimes just get a surprise, or maybe someone made a decision which may either been hasty or is a defensive option.
Sure.
And that might cost them later in the game. But I would say my bets are on Shadow.
All right. Now, of course, with 2 matches this weekend, her next match is right up. We've got, again, rank 11 Shadow Galaxy Wolf, this time taking on a rank 5. So this is now top 5 opponent. Now, of course, Shadow, by this time, I believe this match is actually after the Crowler match. So, she could lose the first one and still have a second chance of redemption. But the main point is, she's going into this, of course, I would expect no less with the Trojan control, but she may even get to make a couple of adjustments before this one if the previous one didn't go very well. But her opponent is incredibly unpredictable because they are using Bandit Sky Soldiers, which is probably one of... No one's ever done it. So it's a very, very weird combination, but it's actually seen a lot of use from Tamus, and it's actually gotten him quite high in the rankings. So this is a really good chance for them to get a high profile win entering that top 3, top 4 territory. Obviously, you've got experience with Shadow Galaxy Wolf like before, and you did have a little bit with Tamus, but it wasn't as much. Based on that archetypal choice and that kind of strategy they'll be going against each other with, what are your thoughts on this match?
So I'm gonna kind of say that Tamus has a good chance of actually, at least if not outright defeating her, at least being a very good opponent and actually.
So are you picking Tamus for this one?
I'd say for this one, yeah, just because I haven't seen how the deck works just yet, so I can't criticize him if he's using Class Bond or not. My adopted child.
Okay. Fair enough. That's a very interesting pick. Now, of course, next we've got your match with Weinstein
I
Obviously,
forgot. I have a
yeah,
match? Ooh.
you do. You and yours, Weinstein. So this is a great match for you, of course, because Weinstein has had a couple rough losses this season, but they are constantly searching and constantly trying different little archetypes. It's a very technical matchup. Obviously, you've made a recent change to Steel Edge, and Weinstein, I mean, I believe they'll probably use something set 3 related, but they could also just stick with Trusty Alterations. This is a bit of a make or break for you two rookies in this matchup. Considering you've had previous experience with Weinstein, I believe that was suffering potentially your second loss was Weinstein. What are your thoughts of this matchup?
Actually, I really hope that it's actually a fun match, no matter who wins or loses. As for Swy, I'm not sure.
You have played your Steel Edge now. You've transitioned from that Torosian Steel Edge to now just Steel Edge, which I believe has really increased your chances of getting up into the top of into the higher ranks. You've gotten a lot better at making that. Hey, you've gotten a lot better at it, and the hardest thing is it's really tough to prepare for Steel Edge. So, and then there's so many different ways that can be executed. But how confident are you going into this matchup?
I'm not sure. I think just because of loss is a possibility.
This will also be outside top 5, so that means that draws could potentially occur. I'm very excited because I think you're both very unpredictable in your plays. And it's going to be a great chance, if you do get this win, to break into that top 5. And obviously for Weinstein, if they can find that deck they can really work with, that could be massive for them as well. Next match we've got is Rank 3 Misfire from the US taking on Rank 4 Apocalyptic from Romania. Very similar records, these two. Misfire have always been known as quite cold and calculating, especially with their plays. They're always about what is the current game state, how much is left. They're very good with deck building, but they can get flustered in those high intensity matchups. Apocalyptic, very similar, but Apocalyptic has a bit of a reckless style to them, which is actually paired quite well with their deck choice now being Rogue Beasts. Now, the problem Misfire is going to have is Misfire has never played Rogue Beasts or even seen them in action. So, meanwhile, that may not sound like much, but Rogue Beasts are potentially the worst deck to play against in this current format. They are on Steel Edge levels of toughness, so I think this could be a really rough one for Misfire if they are not prepared. I'm predicting from Misfire. I think with Misfire's recent choice of taking Wild, the Blackjack Joker from the MonTac market for their prize card, I believe they'll be using Life Gamblers, something to do with Life Gamblers, and I think Apocalyptic comes in with those Rogue Beasts. It's just going to be about who can intercept who first.
I want to say it could go for either one with any of these Titans, because they're both experienced players with the game. Very smart. They can make some good plays.
Sure. So who do you think? Do you have a definite pick, or you just think it's going to be what it is?
Well, I guess now that I know that, from what you said earlier, that Apocalyptic is finally starting to find his deck within Rogue Beast, and the fact that Misfire could possibly change to a different deck, most likely Life Gamblers. I'm kind of tilting a little bit more towards Apocalyptic.
Do you think Apocalyptic got it?
Yeah, I think Apocalyptic at least has more of an advantage than
Interesting.
Misfire, if he's using Life Gamblers. Who knows what he could go with.
Interesting. All right, well, fantastic. Thank you very much. So those were the picks, of course. Appreciate you coming on the matchup. All right, I will see you guys all next week. Have a good one.